It's a very important inquiry report that has been released in the UK.
Inquiry report. So this is really, it's been really, really bad, okay? This is bar none the worst thing I've ever read. I've known about the rape gangs longer than Americans, but I didn't grasp the scope or the scale of what was going on. Forget about Epstein. This is a crime against humanity on the scale of the Holocaust, the Khmer Rouge, or the Israeli atrocities on Gaza. This is systematic, intentional, targeted kidnapping, rape, and torture of white Christian girls in England, specifically chosen due to their race and religion. And I'm not going to read a lot of the details, right? Preteen.
Yeah, just read the report. You know, the terrible, terrible things were done. Absolutely atrocious.
Raped by dogs. That's not a good one, is it? That's a pretty bad one. So, and we finally have the number that we've been waiting to receive. 87 to 95% of rape gang members were Muslims. Do you remember yesterday when that guy was saying that I didn't have any data and that I didn't know what I was talking about? Well, I wonder what they would say about this. They'd probably say that the data is wrong. They'd say that it's not true, or come up with some other way to ignore this, right? And
funny, say people say that this isn't true, this is wrong. They believe that they're willing to believe Israeli atrocities in Gaza with far less evidence. Of course, most of those are true too. That's what's funny about it. Media lies about what's happening in Gaza and the atrocities committed there by the IDF, and the media lies about atrocities committed by migrants in Europe and the United States. Lies about both. Media lies. You don't hate the media enough. But it's crazy. Both, like, as with Gold, he knows how bad the media is on this issue, yet he trusts them on stuff like Iran. he trusts mainstream media. And leftists, they know how bad the media is about Israel and Gaza and Palestinians and Lebanon. Yeah, they know how much the media lies about those subjects, but they trust the media about migrant crimes and that it's not happening, that all migrants are peaceful. It's insane. Both sides know the media lies, and that on the issues that are important to them, they just choose to believe the lies.
I've said it. You don't say, no way, right? And I've got a day or something. Yeah, exactly. And so we all knew this is what was happening, right? We do. And we need to make the Nuremberg trials look like a picnic. No one involved must escape the death penalty. Prepared her for anal gang rape by using a pump to expand her anal passage. And gang rape by...
This is going to be painful, but we have to face it.
5 or 6 men. At one point, she had 4 men inside of her. And after raping her, you threatened her with your lock knife. Your reaction was to pick up a baseball bat with a silver metal handle, strike her on the head with it, and insert the baseball bat inside of her vagina. This is a girl who was 12. So this is looking...
Yeah, fuck everyone who covered this up. And fuck all the leftists that'll try to ignore this and say it's not real. Fuck them too.
Really bad. How do we know this is true? Well, why don't you just think about it?
See, one of them in Esmond's chat right there. Oh, yeah. Yes. Of course, girls are going to be lie about stuff like that happening to them. Of course. No, I'll tell you what. Stuff like this happening, there are hospital reports to confirm this type of stuff. 4 guys and someone, that girl has gone to the hospital afterwards. There's going to be evidence of it. Physical, real evidence confirming these reports.
About it. Why don't you think about it? What do you think? You think it's fake? Let's be honest. What the fuck? Yeah, it's really bad. Before gang raping Taylor, they chanted about Allah did across the nation. It's all linked to Islam. Read the full report here. Oh my God. So many people need to be executed, man. These horrific crimes have only escalated in recent decades, especially following Tony Blair's 1997 victory and the start of orchestrated mass immigration. With greater numbers came greater opportunities for abuse. Perpetrators built organized networks that transported victims between towns and cities and passed girls between multiple adult men. So each of these areas, the same tactics were used. Girls as young as 11 were targeted with gifts, alcohol, and drugs, collected in taxis from the school gates, care homes, and streets, taken to houses.
It's not 10 years or more after the fact, though, correct? No, we can look at the... I was about to show this. This Asian rape gang allegations date back. The first story was Channel 4 in 2003, and you had this long report on what was going on. And so you have to, this is something that's covered up for more than 2 decades. And, some of those reports are recent. Some of them are old. We'll find out more as we're listening to this.
And then repeatedly raped by groups of men, passed between perpetrators, trafficked across country lines, and then impregnated and forced into abortions. Most victims endured violence, were filmed for blackmail, or were told they were white trash or kafar who deserved punishment. And so, wow. The authorities at every level, including the police, social services, and health services, schools, licensing bodies, and politicians knew the patterns, possessed the...
A lot of these girls went to the hospital after what happened to them. Of course they knew. Of course they knew.
Intelligence and still failed to protect the country's children. The evidence establishes that a national scandal of repeated rape, trafficking, torture, pregnancy, forced Islamic conversion, and lifelong trauma enabled by institutional denial, political calculation, and the fear of the accusation of racism took place over decades. Well,
it's just like people not wanting to talk about the atrocities committed by the IDF because that would make them anti-Semites. People didn't want to cover this because that would make them racist. Just let horrific crimes happen. Cover it up. Because you don't want to be called a bigot.
What do you do? What do you do in a situation like this? It's worse than Epstein. I know. It's infinitely worse than Epstein.
Especially in its scale.
Because the thing is that no matter how bad Epstein is, he's only one person. These people are basically all of the worst accusations are like the actual events that happened inside of this. It's way worse, exactly.
But I'm not so sure there's no linkage between the two. You have both involved abuse of children on a large scale. Where was Epstein getting his girls? We know some of that. Ghislaine recruited them, but he also traveled to UK. Where did he get his girls in the UK?
Not just say, think about it. You reach millions of people. You can't really said explicitly things. So you're mad that I'm indicating that I think that you should do extreme measures. Yeah, I'll make it very clear. I think that anybody that was involved in this should be put to the death penalty.
Yes.
Period.
Just you read the horrible things happen. Yes, anyone involved with that, death penalty. You don't. Yeah.
That's my perspective. I mean, it's very simple, actually. It's extremely simple. Without a question. Yeah, publicly. That's it. I mean, duh. I mean, what else is you're literally ignoring a bunch.
And anyone who knew this was happening in these migrant communities and did nothing to blow the whistle, they need to go be deported instantly. Because you only can have these grooming gangs operate if all the neighbors are on board. Like when the little girls scream, everyone who hears that decides to ignore it. That's what you need.
Of little girls getting raped constantly over and over. How is that not death penalty? That's the only answer you could have.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He thought he had a point. Well, I mean, there's some people again, I think that, and the reason that I use a lot of this, what you would say kind of extreme language is because I want to normalize it. I want to normalize the thought of this.
Britain doesn't have the death penalty. There's people who want to bring it back. And when Britain's not being allowed to own guns and not having death penalty, all those date back decades and decades to the point where UK was a nice place to live and there wasn't crime, there wasn't no grooming gangs at that time. Britain has changed a lot since those laws were passed, and I think those laws need to be updated.
Type of accountability. I want to normalize the behavior like this. I want people to listen to this and I want them to think, you know what? Actually, I'm not alone. Actually, it's okay for me to want this. And actually, it's okay. And if enough people think that and enough people start saying this, then it becomes a manifest reality. And you can actually just talk about doing this more publicly. And then it becomes a policy and then you're able to do it. So that's the reason why I talk about it the way that I do, because I want to normalize this behavior.
And I want to spread awareness to what's happening. I think that's the most important thing. Let the UK people figure out how they want to deal with it. This has been covered up since 2003, and I've heard about this like over a decade ago. It's such relief to see it finally coming to light in a big way. That's what I want. So I will do my part. Put a video on YouTube, cover it on stream. People just need to know.
Here. I do. Why the death penalty? You should hold them as slaves, build prisons and trees. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, like, again, there's people that would do worse than I would, right? They would. What if we use them as human experimentations in harder, dangerous works like lithium mines? Oh, that'd be fine, too. But as long as the end result is certain death, then that's the thing that matters, right? What happens before then isn't really that relevant to me. But as long as that's the end goal, then I'd be happy. So, yeah, that's really it. Something extreme is happening. Yeah, I mean, this is really extreme.
You can go back and watch the beginning of this. Things that were done to the girls, absolutely unspeakable.
It's really bad. So, fuck slavery the minute the kid that's a crime, no life is forfeit. Well, I don't know. I mean, like, you have to think about, like, what else... Like, the real way that I would approach this, I'll tell you the truth, right? The real way that I would approach this is actually a lot worse than this. This is my PR version of how I would approach it. Like, the real way I would do this would be...
There's dealing with the people who committed it, but as important, or I'd say even more important, is to make sure it never happens again. And so that's spreading awareness. And there's some people that are very high-risk individuals and should be deported. It's just not worth it. Before we had all these migrants coming into UK, there were grooming gangs and rape gangs. You import the third world, you become the third world.
Awful, right? It'd be terrible. And so say it? Of course not. I don't want to get in trouble. I'd get in trouble if I said it. And so, no, again, it's about, you don't walk into the pool, you don't, I don't jump immediately into the pool.
And as we go talking about what to do to the people who did this to girl, that's okay, but the people who covered it up, the media, that's the enabler of all this, of all these sick things.
You walk in and you slowly acclimate to things. And so you have to boil the frog. You don't do it immediately. We'll get to that. We'll get to that, but we're not there yet, okay? So just be patient. I have suffered. Well, I don't want to get into any details, right? 250,000 victims.
250,000 victims.
87 to 95% of the perpetrators are Muslim. Remigration is the moderate solution. To give you an idea of scale, during the rape of Nanking, Japanese soldiers were estimated to have raped 20 to 80,000 Chinese women. And the report estimates at least 250,000 women were victimized by these Muslim rape gangs.
So what? About like 5 times worse, like more on average, 5 or 6 times worse on average than the rape of Nanking.
And the report estimates at least 250,000 women were victimized by these Muslim rape gangs. Exactly. And I think that the funniest thing about it is that if any of these guys had done this, and you know what they do to Pakistan? You know what? They kill them over there for doing this.
Yeah.
And you know what they do in like other places like Saudi Arabia and Dubai? They kill them for this. So like really, I think we should apply their exact same laws here. Like, they don't put up with this shit. Nobody puts up with this shit. That's it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's why they invade. Yeah, that's why they invade the West.
Oh, there's been another one since then. Another gang rape just yesterday or something. There's a video on that. We might watch it after this. It's still ongoing.
This is the exact thing. Is that they know that their degeneracy and their animal behavior won't be tolerated in their home countries, and they'll literally have their dick cut off or they'll just be executed, right? And so they can't do it in their own country, so they come to Western countries.
And to answer your question, yes, high chance of other more protests.
Is where there's like some white guilt around, holding these people accountable for it. So they come over here and do it. They do it here instead. It must have happened in all of Western Europe, from Spain to Denmark. It's happening everywhere in the country. It is. And this is why I
think is, you think this is just happening in the UK? That these rape gangs are only in the UK? When you have these exact same individuals, exact same backgrounds in Germany, France, and all across Europe? No, This is the first time it's been properly investigated, and that's what you find in UK. You investigate what's going on in Germany. I mean, rapes and the sexual assaults are way up there. I guarantee you these gangs are operating there too.
Said before, like, I would... No, never mind. Never mind. And so, anyway, let's go back. We'll look at this here. While Keir Starmer was the director of public prosecutions, it's been reported that 13,000 suspected rape gang members and pedophiles were let off with warning letters. The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan...
Oh, yeah. Sir Keir Starmer. Yes. Yeah. Jail or execution. Just, he should not be free.
It repeatedly insisted there were no grooming gangs operated in the city. Investigation revealed that Khan had direct access to HM Inspectorate of Constabulary documents detailing the very patterns of the offending that he had denied. That's right, because they're lying. That's the exact reason. Oh my God. If there was a case like that in Norway, I don't know. You're missing the religious component. They're doing it. They're not doing it to...
They're here in Canada as well. Well, you're gonna have gangs like this anywhere you have import a large amount of men from that region of the world. It's cultural.
Muslim girls? Well, yeah, of course they're religious extremists. I know that. And that's my whole point, right? I mean, are we going to have to go back to the original, like, where is it here? Like, I don't know, really. This is probably going to be an easy way for me to find this, right? I'm going to just find the image. Where's the image for this? I don't know if I can find it. I'm sorry. And this might not be it. This is on FaceSpace.
And let me say this in English so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right. There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct,
Yep.
or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others
Don't want to be racists.
far better than we do. And
He knew.
I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
$2018, by the way. Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. And so that's it. Honestly, bro, you're not helping me. Want Muslims at all in the country? Like Islam, sure, but these guys are the ones that help us filter them out. Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is listen to these guys. This has always been my outlook about it. Listen to the guys that run these countries on how to deal with these people, because they know how to deal with these people. And if you don't deal with them the way that they deal with them, you're going to have these problems. That's it. You just listen to them. Oh, okay, that's what we should do. Okay, that makes sense. It's that simple. They all knew. Yeah, they knew what was going on. It's obvious what's going on because they have to deal.
Sir Keir Starmer. That's the current British Prime Minister.
Deal with it all the time. Like Bukele. Yeah, exactly. If the report's accurate, then a number of rapes in the report is more than a total amount of rapes committed during the rape of Nanking. Well, of course it's probably more. I mean, think about how long did the rape of Nanking go on for, right?
Yeah, this has been going on for decades.
Like, I don't think it was really that long, was it? It lasted 6 weeks. Yeah, it was 6 weeks. So this is something that's been going on for a decade.
Across
so
a
obviously
huge
it's going to
country.
be more than this one individual event, because it's like 10 times the amount of length, or 20 or 30 times the amount of length. So yeah, obviously, I think every person in power that allowed that should be publicly executed in the most horrific way possible. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I like that. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, Esmond Gold in his chat calling for the execution of the current Prime Minister of UK. I agree, actually.
For sure. And if you say passive, then it continues to enable them. Yet Americans think because they're oppressed because they do SA. Well, I don't know about that, right? Let's look at a few more of these here.
Yeah, you saw
because they do SA. Well, I don't know about that, right?
You saw Sir Keir Starmer reported 13,000 suspect gang rape members and pedophiles were all let off with warnings under Keir Starmer. Yeah, he covered this up, and as UK Prime Minister, he's still trying to cover it up.
Let's look at a few more of these here. It's your patriotic duty to read about what's been done to the children of Britain. It's been an honor to work with Josh Flynn, Harry Pitt, and the rest of the inquiry team on the harrowing report. Those responsible for it will know justice. The leadership allowed 250,000 little girls. Oh, here we go. They operated under an honor and shame clan code that treated non-Muslim girls, especially white working class girls, as property available for sexual use because these girls had no male protectors who could retaliate. That's the reason. See, these people listen to one language, and that's violence. There is no other language they listen to. They do not listen to reason. They don't listen to rationality. They don't listen.
Yeah, a girl that doesn't have a male protector is just available for public use. That is a cultural belief. That is...
listen to, like words. They don't listen to shame.
You import the third world, you become the third world.
They only listen to violence. That's it. And anyway, the men began showering the girls with attention gifts, alcohols, and then escalated to coercion, gang rape, and trafficking. So we saw this before. Muslim men justified the abuse by describing white British girls as easy, trash, or morally inferior. So this is actually insanely fucking... Oh my God, this is bad. Wow. And Nuremberg trial for the death penalty for the savages that committed these crimes against our people and those that facilitated it. That's right. It's not racist to do your job and punish criminals. What a failure of a country. Yeah, 250,000 unpublished rapes by Muslim men unto women and children in the UK. Completely undocumented and unpunished for fear of being called racist.
Yeah.
Animals, you keep saying that? You're right. I don't really view them as people. I don't view them or think that we should treat them like people. It's the same thing as like you have like a rabid dog that's like attacking people. You just put the dog down. Like that's actually the way that I feel about it. I do. And honestly, an animal,
Great.
At least you can train an animal. These people, are just evil. They're worse. Like if anything, they're worse than animals. So
they're rabid animals.
Yeah, and healer's different, I guess so. Millions must go. Yeah, it's just a question of where they're going, right? This is why the Second Amendment is important. No, it's not. The problem really is the fact that this has been facilitated by the government. It's been facilitated by the government, and
on a massive scale. On the note, he's going to come over to the conspiracy camp. You don't think there's something multi-decade covering up something this big without some big conspiracy? Just fear of being racism isn't enough to compel this type of orchestrated suppression of the truth. That's no. You need organization to do that.
It's been allowed by the government because fundamentally, like if you went and you shot one of these people, like let's say theoretically this is what happened, right? They would just put you in jail for it. You're living in anarcho-tyranny where the law is enforced circumstantially based around whether the law is reinforcing the ideology of the regime or not. So it's not that there isn't any enforcement of the law. It's not that you live in tyranny. It's that the law is applied based off of who it's being applied to. That's the issue. Second Amendment equals free speech? Yeah, I guess so, right? But like they don't have either one. Advocated for the sake of terrified of being called racist. Well, what's going to happen now, and I think this is what the result of that's going to be. And you see already this has 5 million views. This is, and by the way, it should be way more, right? It should be a lot more. And the guns are for the government. I think even Elon posted about this, didn't he? Let me see if he did. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Those who know must go to prison for a long time. See, Elon, he's in a different position that I'm in, right? Very different.
And look at this map. See, it was concentrated in some regions. if you're not in a region where this is going on, you might think, oh, migrants are fine, whatever. You can live in your gated community. Just wise, a little farther away from you, horrible things are happening from the migrants you support letting in. I hate leftists.
Position. He has more money than I do. I've heard of this, right? He's got a lot more money than I do. His character in PoE is a higher level too. He can't. I think the truth is, like, I bet his perspective on this is the exact same as mine. I do. I bet it's the exact same. He's being PC. Yes, he's being PC about it. And you probably can't go as hard as I can, but eventually you'll have that happen. He has more to lose. He does.
Well, the first step everyone can agree on is putting them in prison. If you want to do more than that afterwards, like Asmongold, that's we can have a discussion on that at that time, and I certainly won't be pushing back hard. But the very first step is to put all these people in prison.
So he can't go out and say the things that I say. Censorship always comes with a protect the children lie.
My time has come.
You are really fucked now.
It's Saddam Hussein! Shoot him!
What a dumbass.
Oh my God.
Spilled the blood of the innocent. Now begins 2 million years of darkness.
Oh, good job, Ms. Bloflowski. Thanks a lot.
I was just trying to make the world a better place for children.
Yeah, and you brought enough intolerance to the world to allow my coming. Now, everyone bow down to me. Yeah, bend over.
Whoa, what have we done? Saddam, I am the Dark Ruler, not you.
Relax, bitch. You better see not hurt.
Yeah,
Oh
South
my
Park is
God.
crazy.
Yeah, this used to be really good. They can't inform anybody? Yeah, exactly. Oh, here's one.
Is over 200 pages long. This report is over 200 pages long, and it goes into the root causes of probably the most extensive, widespread scandal that has ever beset Britain. It goes to every corner of the country. It's not in silos. It's everywhere.
That's right.
And it involves failure by the British establishment.
And keep in mind that, do you really think this is happening in other places in Europe? It's happening all over Europe.
I made that point first, Asmongold. You're slow on that. Of course, if you import these same people in France and Germany, this is going on in France and Germany. They've just been more effective as suppressing the truth in those places.
Is he in your attic? Listen.
By the British establishment,
way it is.
I mean,
It's a great place to be.
ministers, the civil service, local government, social services, the police.
Also, you have to keep in mind that, like, if you are broadcasting in an attic, you are superior to people that are not. And the reason why is because you have to go upstairs. So fat people can't do that on a regular basis. So if you have somebody that's going upstairs on a regular basis, that's going to totally put them...
I walk upstairs on a regular basis. That means I'm superior. I learned this from Asmongold.
Literally on another level.
The NHS, and the media, who is supposed
the way it
to
is.
be the guardian for the British people of scandals like this, but they singularly failed to do that.
That's right.
The report goes into the reasons how it's happened. It goes into the reasons why it's happened, and that is all the reasons, and we analyze everything. I'm very grateful to all of the experts.
Everybody knows why.
All of the survivors.
250,000 victims.
Who were brave enough to appear. All of my fellow MPs who came.
Yep.
And most of all to Graham Smith, who is the barrister who has produced.
The only reason the leftists aren't on board is because they can't stand it so much they would look wrong about the views they have. No, it's because they agree with it. I think that the easiest answer is almost always the correct answer. Think about, so this is my outlook on everything.
No, my outlook is you have people, pro-Israel people. The only way they can be that way is they've ignored the truth about what Israel is doing in Gaza, Lebanon, etc. And they just take the media at their word that there aren't atrocities going on. And that's how it happens. Leftists are the same about leftists. While they know what the horror is going on in the Middle East, they let the media lie to them about what's going on with migrants and the horrible things happening there because of their beliefs.
In order to discern what people's intentions are, I think about what is the most selfish, thoughtless, brain dead, unfair, short-sighted, stupid, and evil thing possible. That's probably why somebody's doing something. That's the reason why. They hate genocide unless it's happening to white people? Yes, exactly.
Never ascribe to malice, something you can ascribe to incompetence. That's one saying. And Aspergolda clearly doesn't believe that. And now, actually, me too. I am so tired of every time there's something horrible like these Muslim great gangs. People say, oh, it was just because of incompetence. Fuck you. Fuck you. No, it wasn't incompetence. It was intentional malice.
They have no problem with this happening. They actually probably think it's good. They're probably going to be making jokes about this, the same as they made jokes about Charlie Kirk. That's it.
I mean, these are the same leftists that have been taught to hate white Christians, that we're evil, that we deserve to be punished, according to leftists. They've been indoctrinated into that shit.
Report with help from members of the inquiry team as well. I'm immensely grateful to all of them. It's been a very harrowing experience. Some of the testimonies we heard were beyond believable. And it is an evil which needs to be dealt with now. I want to let people know that this is not the end of it. We will be pursuing those people who have failed us. There will be...
It's important that you hold the media accountable.
Finally! 21 minutes into this, and Aspergold has finally figured out the number one person we should be going after, the media. Yes, we should go after the actual people doing the crimes, politicians, but the media is the enabler of this, the number one enabler of all this. It shouldn't be Asmongold covering this. This should be live on evening news in Britain going over this report. And I doubt that's happening.
It is. It's very important that you hold the media accountable. Because the media enabled all of this. The media, in my opinion, are just as guilty as the politicians, if not more guilty.
More guilty. Media is supposed to be the safeguard. They're supposed to be the one that inform the public about problems. Like that public can be outraged and can get the problems fixed. Media fails that role. Everything falls apart. Democracy stops functioning.
Private prosecutions. To put things into context, this report, which was funded by 20,000 concerned citizens who gave as much as they could afford, it raised £600,000. The J inquiry alone cost the taxpayer 186 million. We still have funds left to help us to pursue private prosecutions and to start the process of prosecuting those people who have failed us.
That's right.
We're also intent on
media sells it. They do
those people in Parliament where we're not going to prejudice a legal case, so that everybody knows those people who are responsible, who should have dealt with it, but failed to deal with it. So it's been a long...
And the people in the media that heard reports on this and chose not to report on it.
Hard, arduous 16 months. And I want to thank everybody. And I hope that every member of the British public has the time to read this. It's not straightforward. It will take time. But
it's a lot.
It needs to be understood, and it needs to be dealt with, and dealt with now. Not...
Do you think once more people know about the severe amount of violence that was hidden by the government officials will be killed by vigilantes, since they most likely won't face justice? I don't think...
No. At some point, Restore Britain will come into power. And, these people will be held to account. Everyone who was involved in this is going to be held to account, unless they die by natural causes before then. But no, there's going to be a reckoning. And at some point, this is what I personally believe, some point within the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be a currency collapse. The dollar, the euro, and the pound. Like most fiat currencies will go down at the same time. And that's going to be such a radicalizing factor. You're going to get mass deportations there. That's optimistic scenario. Otherwise, it might be violence. And everyone involved in bringing these monsters in the UK, protecting these monsters in the UK, they will face their reckoning.
That will happen yet. I think that people still have a perception of democracy where they think that they can vote to have some degree of.
But I shouldn't harp on that. We should go after them now. Don't wait for that. Don't pin all your hopes on the currency collapse coming in, fixing everything. We should do everything we can to bring them to account now.
Accountability. So you're probably not going to have as much vigilante justice yet.
Through a statutory inquiry which has been forced by our inquiry, a statutory inquiry which, by the way, has had the terms of reference watered down and will, like all government failures, be kicked down the road.
Of course.
By the time hands are held up and people admit there's a problem, the people who made the decisions, the bad decisions,
are totally out of the
government, as we've seen with the post,
totally out of the process.
we've seen with infected blood and countless other scandals that have had to be cleaned up. That there will be no retribution, no holding to account, and when there's no holding to account, these things continue to happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
So please read it.
You have to do it.
Please understand how this has happened. We can never let it happen again. It is pure, driven, unfettered evil.
Man.
This report,
like he is the guy, man. Yeah, who publishes this report? Well, Rupert Lowe published it himself. And what is this here? Can I find this? Oh, this is. I'm going to look at that later on. And where are the?
Let's take a break from this to look at a breaking story in the UK.
What has happened in Arbroath? Multiple reports from
4 hours ago. This video is from 4 hours ago.
locals suggest that a 17-year-old girl was attacked by a group of migrants, and police told a local man that intervened to not post it on social media. Women and children are being gang raped, and the police are telling people not to talk about it. Is this real? The Post claims multiple locals reported a 17-year-old girl gang raped by 4 to 5 migrants near Arbroath train station over a recent weekend, with police instructing an intervening local man not to post about it online. Attached image is a flyer headline, Arbroath, what they're not telling you, dealing with the alleged attack. Taped off crime scene with CID present and accusing authorities of covering up, favoring illegal migrants over local victims. Police Scotland confirmed a June 6th sexual assault in Arbroath Bridge area led to one 23-year-old man being charged. Say the victim was an adult woman and explicitly rejects claims of migrant or gang involvement. So this is, as of yet, completely unconfirmed, but we're going to read this post and see what the details were. Arbroath.
Yep.
What they are not telling you. Over Friday night into Saturday morning, something serious happened near the train station in Arbroath. The area around the bushes was taped off. CID officers were present, but there has been no official mention, no news report, and no statement from the police. Here's what actually took
No news report. As always, no news report.
place. A 17-year-old girl was attacked and raped by 4 to 5 illegal migrants. A local man heard what was happening, stepped in, and managed to get her away from them. And what did the police do? They told the man not to post anything about this online, trying to sweep it under the carpet before anyone finds out. This is beyond a joke. We
Fuck the police in UK. They're absolutely atrocious.
see it again and again. Two-tier policing. These men are here illegally, no papers, no right to be here, commit a horrific crime against a local child, yet the authorities rush to cover it up and protect them. Arbroath needs to wake up. We need people to stand together, speak out, and get a protest organized. How many more attacks, how many more victims, how many more cover-ups will it take before they admit the danger these people bring? They call us far right for being concerned, but who stands up for our children? Who protects our girls? Not the politicians, not the police, and not the system. Enough is enough. Share this, spread the word, and let's make sure Arbroath knows the truth. Now, these are uncorroborated claims.
So far, but
So far, we do not know the validity of this statement, which is a problem. Now, even Tommy Robinson actually made a post about this saying, what the fuck is happening in Arbroath? So I'm going to go on a deep dive here, and
Yeah,
I'm going
they're
to find out what's
complicit.
actually happening. Okay, so even Tommy Robinson's on this shit. Hearing multiple reports that a teenage girl was gang raped in Arbroath, Scotland, by invaders over the weekend, and the police threatening people not to mention it. Any locals hearing this? Basil the Great, always a fantastic source of news and information, breaking all the time. Cutting edge. 17-year-old gang raped by illegal migrants. The police are at the scene in Arbroath, and look, yep, there they are. This is Arbroath, and this is a photo
there they are.
from there, and there most certainly is police there now. So it does not refer to this scenario with this 23-year-old and a rape that happened recently. This because they're actually still there right now. This must be very well for this situation. If this is the case, then all hell's gonna break loose once again. We've had riots happen all throughout England, and now we're gonna have a reason to do it up north. That's a lot of shit, is what this person says. Police Scotland says the alleged incident did not involve illegal migrants. Now, that doesn't mean it isn't migrants. Or
Their asylum application might have been accepted. they're people from outside the country. He said they might be legal.
Even ethnic minorities. They're saying it doesn't involve illegal ones. Rape occurred in...
If it didn't involve migrants at all, they would have said that. The way they use illegal migrants is, okay, it's migrants, but it's not the illegal type. Ah, it's disgusting, disgusting, disgusting.
Scotland over the weekend, with police confirming 23-year-old man has been charged. Police explicitly state the incident did not involve illegal migrants or multiple perpetrators, contradicting the Post's claim of a gang rape by illegal ones. The original Post amplified unverified local speculation to a specific narrative of a 17-year-old victim attacked by illegal migrants outside the train station, which lacks supporting evidence from authorities. Well, authorities, he literally said they tried to cover it up, so... They keep using the phrase illegal migrants here.
They do.
It doesn't mean that it's not a migrant. It's just not an illegal one. The jury is still very much out on this until we get the full information, but it definitely seems to be referring to this story here. Does this guy have a name? The one that's responsible for this? Because the Arbroath rumors are true. Another migrant attack. This is an hour ago.
Mentioned in the last video.
He's Scottish. Right, listen to this.
The rumours that we appear to be circulating suggest, claim that a teenage female was abused in a very horrific manner by a group ranging between 5 and 6 migrants. And I believe that story is almost 100% accurate. I believe through talking to people and the feedback I'm getting, the only thing that's wrong is age. I understand why some people may have suggested someone of young age. Some of the rumours I heard were 14, some were 17. But it would appear that on last night's incident, because there were two, come back to the first one in a minute or two, an earlier one, but it appears that
there are 2 instances.
Victim of last night's issue was a little bit old and suggested by social media, just a few years. But the rest of it looks accurate. However, it gets more complex than that, because my good friend Alex Cairney has got...
What he's saying is that the people that he's been speaking to in regards to this incident in Arbroath, they tend to point to the fact that the initial post that was made on Facebook is almost entirely true. He says the only thing that's not true is that the victim is slightly older than what is stated.
Lots of contacts up there. Spent a lot of time up there when he was in the Army, the Marines, sorry. And I spoke to Alec, he put a video out, and I phoned him as soon as I seen it, and it certainly was his... I'll play that video maybe a minute, by the way.
And it's going to happen again and again and again until the people doing this are deported.
It seems that his contacts up there are numerous. He's had confirmation from several people, half a dozen, including people very close to him.
Half a dozen, including some people very close to the victim, did he say there?
What he tells you in this video, harrowing. Now, you can see the way Alex talking, there's things that he doesn't want to say, and I know the information Alex held back on, and I totally understand why he held back on it. It makes perfect sense that for the time being that information is protected, and it's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And you'll see this video I'm about to show you. You can tell, talking to Alex, that he's really, really disgusted by what he knows and how I know. And I don't know, through respect to Alex and respect to the case, for the time being, I'm also going to do what Alex is saying, and that's give our police, our establishment, our government, and our media the opportunity to do the right thing here, because what they've done so far from it. So just watch this video from Alex, and I'll give you some further comment in a second or two.
We've had an incredible amount of contact in regards to an alleged violent sexual assault on a young girl or a young adult in Arbroath. I've got a lot of connections in Arbroath and a lot of connections to Arbroath from my time in the military. So I've got people I can immediately reach out to and have things confirmed. Yes, there was a really, really serious attack. Yes, the people involved and those around it have been told in no uncertain terms that they are not to discuss it and that they are not to go public. Yes, I'm fully...
Isn't that disgusting? They've been told not to talk about the fact that there's been a migrant...
Yes, never talk about the migrant crime.
Gang rape.
Aware who was attacked by name.
Who do you think would want to hear this? Because there's already been quite a considerable amount of civil unrest as a result of all of this migrant crime.
And I'm also aware who allegedly committed the attack and how many of them were and who intervened and all the rest of it, which is absolutely horrific. It's horrendous what's happened. Although Arbroath has a few social issues and, is in a bit of economic decline to what it once was, this type of thing would previously be unheard of. So we're fully aware of it. Now we'll give the establishment and the authorities a period of time to address this properly and put the safety in the minds of the public at ease. And if they don't, then it'll be addressed another way, publicly. So we'll play the game for now, not because it's going to help the case, and if we talk about it, it jeopardises things. That's a load of crap. That's a narrative.
It's a load of crap.
For years, which infuriates me. Stop lying to people. If people have been brutalised in the street and want to talk about it publicly, they've got every bloody right to do it. Okay? So, address it, or it will be addressed.
You can see it in Alex's face. Anybody that you don't even know him as personally as close as I do, to see that, anybody that's watched any of his videos will see quite a serious demeanour.
The truth is radicalising.
He's always quite serious, Alex, but you can tell he's not happy with the stuff he's having to bite his lip with, and it's
So based on what this Scots fella's saying, it definitely seems like the police most certainly are covering it up. They seem to be very specific in their use of language, saying the phrase illegal migrant over and over again. So they're not saying that it wasn't a migrant, they're saying it wasn't an illegal one. So based on this Scottish fella that lives in the area, or at least has contacts in the area and people that were close to the situation, this guy,
then it'll be addressed another way.
he says he expects the police to address this, and if not, it will be addressed another way, which I think is that these guys really blowing the lid off this situation.
You know, is in a bit of economic decline to what it once was. This type of thing would previously be unheard of.
This is playing at 1.5 speed, and it sounds like he's talking at a normal speed.
So we're fully aware of it. Now we'll give the establishment and the authorities a period of time to address this properly and put the safety in the minds of the public at ease. And if they don't, then it'll be addressed another way publicly. So we'll play the game for now, not because it's going to help the case.
So this is still ongoing. Let's see if there's anything interesting.
Rest of these, I don't even
video.
know. But yeah, I mean, Elon retweeted this as well. And so, like, huge shout out. Like, this is why, as I said, I never criticize Elon. I never do. This guy has been on our side.
You criticized him when he faked, playing Path of Exile. You did call him out for that, Asmongold.
The whole time. And minor disagreements are irrelevant. This is what matters. Him posting this and using his platform to push this means more than any fucking video game, man. And that's the way I see it. What if most Europeans have been brainwashed? I'm a foreigner in Europe. It doesn't matter if most...
Oh, I have family members that have been brainwashed. I'm going to try to get them to see this report, but I don't even know if they'll even read it.
Europeans have been brainwashed. Do you know how many people it took to do the American Revolution? It was like a small percentage. So it doesn't matter whether you have the majority on your side or not. What matters is that do you have the capacity to enforce your will? That is the only thing that matters. Everything
We're getting close to that point.
is downstream from that. And so if you can do that, then you can do anything you want. Yeah, it will is everything exactly. Well, games, yeah, you don't need to go 1-for-1 with everything, right? Absolutely not. And it'll be a Mossad organized. Yeah, 2% of the country's population to take down the government. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen, right? I mean, I think it really depends. I don't think
I wouldn't be sad if they did do that, because the current British Prime Minister is one of the main people that have covered this up.
Come down to that. I hope it won't, right? But if it does, you're going to get somebody that's very interesting. I'll tell you that. And anyway, this is the worst thing I've ever read. I don't know how it can be done, but the reality is that most people won't read the full report. It needs to be made into a documentary and played in every home and every classroom. Well, how long is this? Let me see how long it is entering.
If someone doesn't know this by this time next year, they should be publicly shamed. Agreed.
And played in every home and every classroom. Well, how long is this? Let me see how long it is myself. I have no idea. How many pages is it? It is 214 pages. Okay, so there it is, and this is all of the stuff. Oh my God, that's a lot. Yeah, I mean, maybe if I did I would have to dedicate probably 3 or 4 hours to reading all of this, right, and going through all of it. But yeah, imagine if Elon bought Reddit. I mean, that would be insane. Do you think Europeans returning home to the UK, the World Cup, experiencing American culture shock will accelerate things? No, I don't really think so. I think it's just it's a sporting event, right? That's really about it.
It's a sporting event,
and it's not
that's what it
too
should
crazy
be.
Besides that. You copy paste it and have text read it all? Well, I'd read it myself, right? Please read it. It means so much to us in the UK. Yeah, if people really want me to, you guys can make a post and I could dedicate a pretty good amount of time to reading all of this, because I do think that it's extremely bad. And also, by the way, this is what I'm assuming. I'm assuming that this is the tip of the iceberg, because you have to keep in mind that all of the really strong data is probably held by the government. So they don't have access to this. So the only data and information they have is the things that are publicly available. So basically, if you think that it's only 250,000 people, it's probably way more than that. I'd assume that it's probably millions.
Yeah, at least a million.
Across all of Europe. And Grim Reaming of huge purposeful failure of the state sacrificing 250 young girls on the altar of multiculturalism. And there you go. No, I'm glad to see that. I've only started reading the first victim testimony in this report by a woman named Chloe. I had to pause multiple times because I couldn't read through the tears. Yeah, I mean, again, I'll read it. It's not a big deal to me, right? Just open the report. I think I'm going to throw up. Already Muslims were most people on the earth, but reading the testimony of these poor girls for something else, man. So many of these people need to be executed.
Yeah.
Man.
Truth is radicalizing. Okay, I think that's enough. This report is out, and it's absolutely terrible what's in it, and heads need to roll, and we need to spread awareness of it. And I'll try to do my part. This will be on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Come watch and kick our Twitch. And I'll see you in next video. Bye.